Wife did a few movies, didn't she?
Okay, that was a long time ago, Puff. What the fuck are you trying to say?
Hey, when you hosted for Diddy, did you catch any baby oil?
You'll see,
When I hosted for Diddy, yeah, you asking the wrong person the wrong question.
I kept a sample in case you needed.
Oh, listen, don't push your limits, Puff. I ain't the one to play with. You in there, and I'm out here.
The internet is Jay-Z and Diddy's secret jail phone conversation, surfaced online today, and it's more explosive than anybody could have imagined. The music industry is being rocked by the suspected release of the recording. You won't believe what these two icons have said behind closed doors, so be ready to be shocked when secrets are revealed and accusations are made. The alleged effect of Diddy in jail. Now, accusations of illegal influence within the facility are connected to Diddy's incarceration. He allegedly uses other inmates as go-betweens to deliver communications to those outside the institution, evading official contact rules. If these accusations prove to be true, they demonstrate a deliberate attempt to shape public perception of his legal battles, raising questions about the true extent of his authority even while he is imprisoned. It's also concerning that Diddy allegedly used unlawful methods to contact individuals who weren't on his permitted list and made three-way conversations using the phone numbers of other inmates. Mr. Eckstein will hear the case 5 days before a grand jury in Kentucky. This strategy violates jail regulations and demonstrates a blatant disregard for the law. Given the serious consequences of such action, it is probable that Diddy intentionally tried to sway witnesses or get positive comments while he was in jail. These allegations also lend credence to Diddy's alleged ability to intimidate or influence inmates. Because of Prison Walls' claims that Bail has employed prisoners within the prison to serve as go-betweens and messengers in his conversations, prosecutors have argued against bail for Diddy, pointing to his continued capacity to manipulate the case's developments from within the coded language of the prison. The accountability and justice of the penal system are called into doubt by this meddling.
Nah, with all due respect, my brother, how is your wife doing? I heard she's spending a lot of time on the farm, and she loves talking to a pig. I told you when I went on this little road trip, I wasn't going to invite you, but I could change my mind. You understand?
One interesting feature of Diddy's cell calls is his claimed use of coded language to communicate with persons outside the jail gates. According to the prosecution, Diddy concealed the true subject of his conversations by using enigmatic terms like worm food and pig road trips. His deliberate use of veiled terminology has made it difficult for authorities to completely comprehend his communications, raising concerns about the operations he could be planning from within the prison. It seems that these coded messages are an attempt to circumvent surveillance technology and maintain control over his public persona and legal actions. The term pigs is believed to refer to law enforcement, implying Diddy's apparent dissatisfaction or concern over police involvement in his case, while road trips appear to be a euphemism for jail or likely legal repercussions, used to subtly convey warnings or threats. Worm food is taken to signify knowledge or evidence of his superiority over others. His obvious will to use his authority even while limited is highlighted by these remarks, which, despite their vagueness, demonstrate a methodical and deliberate approach to communicating. Diddy allegedly used these codes to educate family members, according to court documents. Prosecutors contend, however, that the encrypted correspondence provides even more proof that he has tried to thwart justice claims of witness intimidation. In order to keep his goal from being too readily discovered by the police, associates and middlemen who were in charge of reaching the witnesses and victims appear to have employed such evasive language.
Everything all good, we just can't talk right now.
Now how about I just talk and you listen? You told me the storm would just come and go if I lay down and stay quiet, but the weather seemed to be getting worse. You know, I could be catching a cold, so I need to make sure you send me some vitamin E and my special K cereal.
The mention of vitamin E's importance and specific issues may cause press relief to ask the director why Barton is considering ushering in a therapist for the storyline. These words could be a sign that Diddy needs resources, support, or specific assistance from Jay-Z, since Kaz serial seems to be coded language in the context of the call. The purposeful use of this term can suggest an effort to hide the actual purpose of the request from the authorities, keeping an eye on the exchange. It also suggests that Diddy is aware of how vulnerable his position is and is making a conscious effort to communicate discreetly. Attempts to intimidate witnesses in Diddy's current legal processes are among the most severe charges against him. These accusations demonstrate that Diddy used his power to suppress potential witnesses or coerce them into making statements that supported his defense. The prosecution's argument against Diddy being granted bail heavily relies on this alleged behavior, as it betrays a blatant disregard for due process and raises questions about his intention to sway the proceedings from behind bars. These charges have more repercussions. In addition to Diddy's case, if they feel intimidated or are compelled to keep their testimony to themselves, the legal system is creating a very risky precedent. The lack of confidence in the judicial system ability to take into account the most powerful people is a result of witness intimidation. Therefore, regardless of the defendant's wealth, these charges serve to highlight the necessity for extremely harsh measures to guarantee a fair trial free from coercion or manipulation. By focusing on platforms that have a big cultural impact, and leaks, he deliberately tries to show himself in a positive light to the general public, a personal touch that is likely intended to humanize him and win people around to his situation in light of his legal troubles, is provided by the mention to being a good dad. A conscious attempt to influence public opinion in order to influence potential jurors or the broader narrative surrounding his case is revealed by this concentration on image management. Diddy is making an effort to appear like a devoted dad, but the DA has become increasingly active in excluding the client from evidence. From bringing charges to presenting evidence of Diddy's purported wrongdoing, the DA has been instrumental in pushing the charges against Diddy. Reports of serious leaks, including video recordings of court hearings and intercepted phone calls that have appeared online, have dogged this case. Though, significant questions highlighted by these disclosures include whether the integrity of the case is being threatened by outside forces and the safety of the court system. It was a shocking development when the DA abruptly resigned during what was probably the most well-known trial of their career. This abrupt departure has raised questions about whether external factors, such as political intrigue or coercion, influence the choice. Resigning at such a crucial moment, according to critics, undermines the prosecution and may make it more difficult to pursue justice. This resignation adds complexity to an already difficult judicial battle. There are allegations that the disclosures were intentional and/or made possible by someone who wanted to sway public opinion per the case specifics. In recorded jail conversations that are available online, Diddy is accused of using coded language and connections. The discovery of such private documents in the public realm has only caused the DA's office to raise eyebrows, since it begs the issue of how so much evidence could be revealed and shared without limitations. These incidents represent only one of the many difficulties the judge has in a case of this size. Aside from the disclosures that have already been made public, there is a chance that the evidence may be altered, which would make it harder for the prosecution to get a conviction. In addition to the DA's retirement, this leak issue necessitates more extensive protections when handling high-profile issues, but only to finish investigations and prevent diversions. Mistakes in social media and public perception are packed with serious bistoff into the Republican Party's representation agenda. Changes in the legal agenda instructed him to refrain from making public statements. His usage of social media while incarcerated has drawn a lot of attention and made his legal situation worse. He released anything online that was intended to sway public opinion against their counsel. One example is his birthday social media campaign, which included a heartwarming video of his kids showing their love. But these seemingly harmless actions have sparked doubts about their appropriateness in light of the seriousness of the accusations against him.
Happy birthday, Daddy.
According to prosecutors and critics, Diddy's situation is less serious because he continues to post from prison. These posts were allegedly part of a planned attempt to change public opinion by portraying Diddy as a loving father and a positive influence. But it appears that this strategy has backfired. Diddy faced the risk of upsetting potential jurors who would perceive his actions as heartless or dishonest, in addition to vexing his legal team. The contradiction that results from the juxtaposition of serious accusations with funny family movies damages his public image. The uproar surrounding these tweets has been heightened by allegations that Diddy ignored his attorney's warnings about the risks of managing social media initiatives. He prioritizes personal branding over legal strategy, as seen by his fixation on controlling his public image. In order to bolster their argument that Diddy's conduct is uncontrollable, even when he is incarcerated, prosecutors have highlighted these mistakes as evidence of Diddy's disregard for the seriousness of the charges. Diddy's social media blunders draw attention to a more significant problem with swaying public opinion during high-profile legal proceedings. Even if these parties may have tried to humanize themselves and demonstrate sympathy, their acts only serve to incite mistrust and contempt. The divergent responses to his tweet emphasize the delicate balance that has to be struck between deferring to legal advice and expressing public support. Diddy further muddies his case with this action, possibly endangering the trust of his legal staff and the public's faith in his silence and celebrity connections. Will this Diddy phenomenon last in Hollywood? Diddy's network of well-known connections has attracted a lot of attention throughout his legal issues, particularly due to the noticeable silence of his well-known buddies. Even when questioned by the media, others who frequently attended his parties, such as Rihanna and Kevin Hart, have stayed mute in public. "Did you catch any baby oil if you hosted Diddy?" asked the incorrect person. Many people are questioning whether these individuals are avoiding self-incrimination or distancing themselves to preserve their own reputations, which has led to a great deal of conjecture. The claims against Diddy are based on his notorious freak-off parties, which several celebrities close to him reportedly attended. Authorities have purportedly obtained video recordings of these gatherings, which are believed to have featured questionable and sexual actions. There has been further conjecture that Diddy could be utilizing his knowledge or proof of these incidents to guarantee their quiet because of the potential that these tapes may include well-known individuals. This alleged authority dynamic adds even more complexity and raises questions about how secrets and power dynamics influence celebrities' actions. But what could explain the significance of Cole and Daniela?
To speak out against this Diddy thing. What's your take now? John, you made a statement about Diddy. Hey, my man, do you have any reaction to the Diddy scandal? Any reaction? No reaction?
They will be those catastrophes who would rather escape disaster in the form of collateral harm from an already heated case that quiet has fed conspiracy ideas. Even retirement or an ailment from the entity may bring bad luck via their silence. The fact that Diddy's Hollywood colleagues remained silent shows how carefully celebrities walk when they are openly linked to a high-profile issue. Some of them claim that Diddy could be hiding information that the celebrities don't want to be known.
Look at it. I want to ask about the Diddy scandal. Have you ever heard of anything such? No? Is the Baldwin family at all concerned about Justin Bieber with this P. Diddy thing?
This has to do with brand management's fine line between devotion and self-preservation, which some could call a silent betrayal of an old friend. Others see it as an age-old tactic to safeguard one's own interests in any case. The matter itself was made more mysterious by Diddy's well-known followers' notorious lack of public support. Concerns have been expressed about the need to speak out against members of a circle who are involved in scandals if being silent amounts to complicit blackmail, and the purported worm food. Diddy's legal case is especially contentious because of allegations that he used extortion to sway potential observers to buy worm food. Diddy is accused of using a word during prison conversations that is interpreted as a secret reference to information or data he has that might jeopardize others. This enigmatic word that keeps up in conversations that have been recorded suggests that Diddy could have damaging evidence that he would divulge if his demands are not met. Such accusations depict a guy who will do everything it takes to safeguard his interests.
I kept a sample in case you need it.
Listen, don't push your limits, pup. I ain't the one to play with. You in there and I'm out here.
Oh, and don't have another Kit Kat. It's bad for you. She made me gain weight. And get 44 on board again. Make him pull some strings again. Or
Prosecutors have pointed to instances where Diddy allegedly intimidated or repressed associates and witnesses by using this worm bait. One account claims that he threatened to release tapes of private conversations with famous individuals if they didn't comply. These alleged recordings, which are said to show compromising activities at his infamous freak-off parties, have become a major part of the scandal. The likelihood that such evidence exists has given rise to conjecture that many people remain silent for fear of damaging their jobs or reputations. This might imply that the worm meal controversy shows Diddy's continued influence while incarcerated, in addition to implicating him in blackmail. If he is threatening someone who could testify against him, he might duck or even stop talking. It further complicates his case and harms his reputation by bolstering the prosecution's argument that everything excludes fundamental legal strategies, giving the impression that he would be purposefully and painstakingly attempting to obstruct justice.
Diddy had deals before to get his friends out of prison.
Yeah, he got powerful people. One of his partners who started his company with money, President Obama, got him out of prison. So it's not like he don't have no move.
The most important question is whether these allegations of extortion result in a loss of power and control over abuse and high-profile cases. If this is true, wealth and access to networks have been turned into means of evading accountability. Additionally, witnesses and victims are probably frightened by such a threat, which causes major disruptions to the legal system overall. These claims about worm food are made as events unfold before celebrities stay silent in an effort to obtain information that might be helpful in determining the extent of Diddy's actions and their impact on his legal battle and public image. The tone of the conversation is antagonistic, with Diddy portraying himself as someone who has been pushed into a tight spot and is ready to retaliate with nothing to damage his name. A mocking term that conveys tension or an attempt to undermine Jay-Z's self-esteem may be daddy. The phrase, "you already ruined my name," suggests that Diddy feels duped or misinformed and is blaming Jay-Z for tarnishing his image. As seen by his comments about Leonardo DiCaprio being in Fiji, Oprah staying silent, and Quaylen moving overseas, Diddy is utilizing the actions of well-known individuals to allude to deeper conspiracy overtones. Despite their ambiguity, these statements are intended to bolster Diddy's assertions of power by implying that he has contacts or inside knowledge. Another suggested that Diddy pursue knowledge of the actual degree to which health and appians are measured and measured. This notion is emphasized with the phrase, "you're going against someone who has nothing to lose and everything to gain." Given his disobedience and the notion that he is in a challenging circumstance, Diddy may be quietly cautioning Jay-Z that he might act out of character. He adds a dramatic touch that emphasizes his creativity and tenacity in the face of seeming obstacles by utilizing a letter on a bird to get around modern communication. This call irrespective of the authenticity of the fuels. The tale of increasing animosity and tension between two of the biggest stars in the music industry would make an intriguing subtopic for your video.
First of all, Puff, you need to watch your mouth. You know who you talking to? Second of all, it's the that got you in the first place. You always think that you're bigger than what you really are. You need to stop trying to bite the hand that feeds you, and you wouldn't be in this position. And you don't got what you think you.
These claims, however unsubstantiated, have sparked a lot of public debate and provide a striking glimpse into the personal lives of two of Diddy's most significant musical inspirations. Allusions to worm food and his alleged use of coded language to influence prison institutions point to a larger network of power and influence, even from behind bars. The calls portray a guy standing his ground despite his notoriety and legal troubles. If these acts are genuine, they call into question the extent of his power and compromise the integrity of the judicial system. At the same time, derogatory comments made against Jay-Z and other celebrities reveal a desperate attempt to place blame and restore popular support for Jay-Z. His reaction to these calls might have an impact on how the public perceives his participation in this unfolding issue, regardless of whether he explicitly addresses the claims or remains mute. Though they simply serve to fuel speculations about their relationship, the allusions to mutual betrayal and veiled threats allude to a complex history. More than simply a rivalry, these calls highlight the precarious interplay between celebrity, power, and accountability as they continue to get media attention. The consequences of this incident will undoubtedly have a long-lasting effect on Diddy and Jay-Z's careers, serving as a stark reminder of the fine line that exists between vulnerability and power in the public eye. It will take time to uncover the whole truth behind these shocking allegations. Thank you for watching, and if you like this analysis, please leave a comment with your thoughts and click the subscribe button for further updates on this case and other trending topics. Make sure you click on the following video that shows up on your screen because you won't want to miss it. I'll see you there.